Hello, everybody. It is Dean Spillane back on your screen with a bit of a, I guess you could say, kind of an update on what the heck I've been doing for like the past several months, seeing as that I haven't posted anything in like forever. Well, so I've been busy. I have been doing stuff, definitely. Not really playing Dota. It's more like, uh, main way that I can kind of put this is that I'm just not playing that much Dota anymore, and that's why I'm not posting more on it. Uh, so what have I been doing in the meantime? Okay, probably a few of you know, but I just kind of wanted to actually like get this out here, I guess. Let's see. Bah, I've been streaming. I even have my own like fairly sophisticated PNG avatar thing that I am very proud of. I'm very happy with it. Hmm. But besides that, over in my other channel, the Dean Spillane channel, the main one over here, I've been I've been making some stuff here and there. Not a whole bunch of videos, but it's mostly in the terms of like live streams because I've been doing live streaming on there, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Whereas Dota, as of recently, or I guess recently as in several months, I guess, just hasn't been that much fun for me. I've encountered a little too many ranked games that just didn't go my way very well, and I just got super frustrated, and I just didn't want to play anymore because I just wasn't having fun. So I stopped. And right now, I'm trying to get into voice acting, which, let's see. Yes. Here we go. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light below. To best prepare you for the task at hand. And yet you failed.
There you are.
Wait, hold on. I suddenly feel like being very open to a conversation. Surely we could settle out our differences.
Settle our differences? And what might those be?
Don't want to go too far into it, but uh, I've been wanting to get into voice acting mainly, and one thing that I have been doing is like playing through various games that have a lot of text in them, just so I can voice a bunch of that. And that's mainly what the live streams end up being, as well as just an excuse to hang out with people, kind of. So that's at least where I've been. But in terms of if I'm going to be doing any actual Dota stuff in the future, I think I made the clip or whatever. Probably not. I know Dota just got a recent map update. I mean, I can see it right here. I'm a fan of it. I think it's really interesting. A lot of areas have gotten very opened up. They're still like somewhat defensible, but not like impregnable, but also not like you feel like you're in the open at all times, which I think was a problem of the last map. As well as also bringing the Roche pit back out into the middle of the river instead of like on the sides, which I think is kind of nice too. And of course, there was also a lot of hero changes, like way too much to cover, frankly. Uh, for at least this update video, I'll be focusing on Phoenix's changes that weren't exactly much in this update, but I just kind of want to also get out my problems with Phoenix, because I don't know, it kind of feels like Dota's got a vendetta against getting Phoenix to have anything more than just having Sunray hotspot with Shard, and that being like his main build. Everything else that Phoenix could probably go just never feels like it does anything else. Of course, that does mean that Phoenix can kind of build whatever he wants, because since you just need Shard and probably Aether Lens at the very least, just so you can have extra damage on your hotspot. Other than that, you can kind of build whatever, which, beneficial. Of course, there is the very fun build that you could go, where you go Meteor Hammer, and then you combo that with Icarus Dive. That one is fun. I think that one is interesting. Just, it never ends up being that effective. I guess other problem I have. So, if Dota wants Phoenix to go hotspot Shard, and also hotspot has an effect where the range of it also increases based on cast range, which means that you should get Aether Lens, allowing you to do excessive amounts of damage to people. That's pretty cool. You should get Aether Lens. Except the only thing that really gets benefited from Aether Lens is Sunray. Of course, Fire Spirits does get changed a bit. And Fire Spirits already had a lot of range anyway, but getting Aether Lens out I mean, it increases it, but it doesn't exactly matter. Of course, Sunray, on the other hand, does actually matter, though. And also using the new neutral item setup, allowing you to get even more cast range. And you can, like, shoot from a screen away, which is kind of funny. But my problem is that Icarus Dive isn't affected by cast range for some reason. I really do not understand why Icarus Dive is not affected by cast range at this point. There's a lot of other abilities in this game that have a technically global cast range, and Icarus Dive is one of those where you can, like, cast it anywhere on the map, and then Phoenix reacts to that. But that's kind of it. I'm just annoyed that Aether Lens doesn't give cast range to Icarus Dive. That's all I'm going to say. I just wish Icarus Dive was more without it being a 25-second cooldown skill. Like, as an example, maybe have the extra range talent that's at level 25 that you get at the very end of the game. Have, like, some of that range get put into the dive at base, maybe, possibly? That'd be kind of nice. Yeah, probably not. Also, I guess other thing. I rarely, if ever, feel like getting Scepter on Phoenix. Like, it just always feels like a downside to get Scepter. Because, all it does is increase your Supernova hit count by 3. Is that right? Wait a second. Attacks to destroy, 12. Attacks to destroy, 13. Wait a second. Is the description actually outdated? So, Supernova normally has 6, 8, 10 hits. Okay, no, it actually is correct. It's just not accounting for the talent Supernova hit count. But there's also just, like, 2 random lines there that kind of say the same thing, even though they don't. This is why I hate the Scepter. There's just some issues with it. So talking about the in-game problems instead of, like, the out-of-game description issues. The effect of Scepter allowing you to save an ally can be useful. Like, there are cases when it, like, genuinely can be very helpful to save someone, and it's a good save until you realize that the only way for it to work really well is if your ally is, like, really low on health anyway, and then that probably only happened later on in the game after they're about to get killed. So, do you want to save somebody by putting them into more danger and possibly getting yourself killed as well? Me personally, that's a bit of a risky move. I wish there was something else to kind of make it a bit easier as a save, but why is the Tormentor here? I don't know. PA, you're gonna die. Actually, you're gonna die repeatedly. Go get the Wiz Rune. That's more useful. Wiz Shrine now, actually. It's now a shrine. Wow. Also, I do like what they did with the Wisdom Shrine, making it like a King of the Hill effect. I do like that. And they did the same thing with the Lotus Orbs. I like this feature a lot. It makes, like, forced fights in that area more interesting, instead of just whoever gets there first and cheeses it. Right, back to Scepter. The other thing that's a bit of an issue, I think, is also muscle memory stuff. So normally, you want to press the Supernova button, and it's like a one tap you can activate it. But if you don't remember, oh yeah, I have Ag Scepter now. I have to self-cast it in order to get it to work, which means you have to alt and then click your button, which it basically means that you need 2 button presses in order to actually get the Supernova off, which, with how fast everything goes, you kind of have to time everything, and it's depending on how busy your hands are, you may or may not be able to get that off. Of course, you can also click like click yourself, but I don't know. It just gives you too much busyness to do work. That's just me with skill issue, I guess. It's just that in the moment it might offer like a bit of unnecessary hesitation, and A lot of the times I try my damnedest to not get Scepter just so don't have to think about pressing 2 buttons. Because honestly, the benefit doesn't really help too well. Oh, other thing. I would really like for there to be more uses for it. Right now, the best use for Supernova at all is being able to refresh people's long cooldown basic abilities. Like what it does for Undying here, so you can have 2 tombstones, which that's kind of neat. But, I mean, it's mainly just a refresher that's on a 6-second delay that also freezes you in place for several seconds. But you can also use this on, not OD, someone like Invoker, because it also refreshes all of his abilities. So that can actually be kind of good. You can do that with Medusa to restore all of her mana. That's at least something useful. You can use it on Terrorblade in order to refresh his Metamorphosis. Like, there is uses for it. It's just that it's on a 6-second delay. And most of the time, whenever these fights happen, you probably want your dudes to be available at all times instead of being stuck in a very fragile supernova. Random example: Juggernaut with just like 2 moon shards. Ah, I'm gonna save you, buddy. Juggernaut's enough, which of course he's not gonna exactly get 2 moon shards worth of stuff. There's other things that Juggernaut might do, but Jug's enough to destroy it. So you kind of need to make sure that you pick Phoenix, specifically if you're fighting against like slower heroes that don't have a lot of attack speed anyway, or movement speed as well, so that they don't run away from the supernova too much. Blah, blah, blah. There's too much to think about if they do have anything that has like actual attack speed. Long story short, too much risk and not enough reward for Supernova Scepter. So I just end up deleting it most of the time. Not really deleting it, but there's still like benefits of it. There definitely are. I've had games where because I was okay with getting an Ag's Blessing, we actually won those games, or because I refused to get an Ag's Blessing, we lost those games. It does matter. It really does matter. Don't buy this thing. That's all I'll say about that. Last thing for me to get frustrated over is Phoenix's other facet, Dying Light. Mostly because it's not very good. The only way to actually have any effect from it is if you have a tremendous amount of health. Say like a Heart of Tarask or Octarine Core or Bloodstone as well. Just stuff to give you more HP. Alright, so now you have a bunch of HP. Now you have to lose a bunch of it. Okay. Oh, wait, there's another problem. You have 51 health regen, if not more, because you have Heart of Tarask, because you needed a lot of health. Right? Point is, Dying Light, I think, doesn't do as much as it could. The range of the ability is limiting it, as well as the fact that you need to be on low health for it to do much of any kind of damage. Problem? Especially if you feel like getting the 20 health regen talent. Let's say, hey, do you want to farm? Do you want to kill some creeps? That sounds like a good thing to do. You have a Radiance, and there's no jungle creeps because this is... Are there any creeps? What? Let's go fight some creeps. Oh, they're actually really, really weak, so because you don't lose that much health, you can't use your Dying Light to farm anything, so you have to rely on Icarus Dive to do, or Fire Spirits to do most of the farming. I would really like it if Dying Light was able to be more consistently active, I think. Because later on in the game, you get so much health regen from either items or just natural regen in general, that it makes it not very worth your while to actually do, or it doesn't make it worth your while to build for, because the damage that comes from it only happens when you're about to die anyway, and the reason you're about to die is because you use Supernova. Also, you can't buy Tranquil Boots if you want to have Dying Light active all the time. You have to have, like, barely just enough regen to be useful, but not so much that you lose out on the Dying Light. But you need to make sure that you're on high enough health that you don't die instantly, but not so high that your Dying Light damage doesn't matter a lot. A little too many variables to think about, maybe. Meanwhile, with Hotspot, you just laser them, and if you feel like it, get a lens, and you do a lot of damage.
Of course.
Actually, I'm gonna put this dude like right at the very edge of the cast range. This is with Aether Lens and a tier 5 cast range bonus, but like, bam, he's dead, and I'm a screen away. Hotspot's pretty good. Meanwhile, with Dying Light, I do have a bunch of big tanky items, as well as Dying Light on, just to show this off. So, if you've lost about 3,000 health, you start doing about 100 damage per second, which is good. Let's just wait until he gets low enough here. So, if you get all of these super expensive items, and you are down to like 1,000 to 2,000 HP, you start doing your Supernova's damage nearby. Which... there is potential there. I think there really is. It's more the problem that in order to get to that point, you need to have a lot of very expensive items. Also, a problem I feel like there is since you're going to be like at full health anyway, you won't be able to have Dying Light active all the time. So it's like you need to start battling, but even when I start battling, I just get all my health back anyway. So it's like I need to take a ton of damage first. So by the time for them to actually do enough damage for you to start doing your damage, you're going to die pretty soon. So you might want to use your Supernova to protect yourself, but then Dying Light doesn't work well in Supernova. So the point is that it doesn't flow very well with Phoenix's kit. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's kind of my complaints with Phoenix, which will probably stay the same until they feel like changing them. And even if they feel like changing them, I probably won't make a video on them besides like, good, maybe, possibly, I don't know. Other character I think kind of needs a bit of a change is Treant Protector. Mostly because there's almost no reason to go for Primeval Power. It does give you a lot of base damage, it does. But also, the sapling effect allows... Did they not... Good... I reported this... Okay, so months ago, I reported that, hey guys, if you swap between facets on Treant Protector, it causes them to lose his equipment. Should probably fix that. I reported that months ago, and they still haven't fixed it. Okay, point I was trying to get to is there's not much of a reason to go for Primeval Power, go for Sapling instead, because that allows you to use Leech Seed a lot more often. Because you can just place it down on the ground and then it heals everything. It is the same healing values, but less damage values, I believe. Yeah. More accurately, creep damage is reduced by 50%. It also allows you to place down a tree and then use your grasp anywhere. And your grasp actually benefits from that and allows it to do its double damage if it's connected with a tree. This makes it just... makes Treant way better. Just better in general. Especially since Nature's Grasp has, I think, a little bit of an issue where its origin is you. When I... This is just me, I think. If I want, say, a Nature's Grasp to go, like, along this line to prevent people from going through, I have to get all the way over here to then put it down. And then that's kind of like a natural barrier for preventing people from going in. But because it's centered on you, you kind of have to, like, angle it a bit. Which, actually, that might be a bit better. But for me personally, I think Nature's Grasp would be a bit more interesting if you could, like, point target. Like, you can point to where you could put it, and then vector target to have it go somewhere else. Kind of like how... kind of like Pengular Swashbuckle, where you can target an area, and then you can put it down. That... me personally, I think that makes Nature's Grasp a bit more interesting, instead of making it centered on you. But that's just me. I don't know how to play this game. Also, Nature's Guy's got to change that no longer causes Train Protector to go invisible if he's currently attacking an enemy. That is a huge quality of life adjustment. I like that feature because that has bugged me so much because I messed up killing creeps and getting stacks off because I went invisible every time I touched a tree, so then I never stack anything. I kind of wish you could toggle this on and off so you don't have it permanently. Actually, that'd be another cool change. Then there's Wyvern, another favorite character to play as for me. Recursive and winterproof facets, both new facets. I kind of like those. The old ones I wasn't too fond of anyway. Recursive just makes Winter's Curse reapply on whoever, or like a random hero within range of the curse target if the curse target dies, which can make for really interesting chain reactions of the killing. And winterproof as well. It allows your towers to be better protected. It doesn't give them any regen, which I think is completely fair because the regen on this is bunkas. But giving your towers physical immunity is pretty good, as well as if you get the shard that allows you to send off your splinter blasts in an area. It also Cold Embrace is like very low cooldown. I think if you get shard and if you get Octarine Core, you can go down to like 7 seconds. So, super defensible. There's a lot of other changes that I could talk about, but that's like way too much. Although a favorite one of mine was the change that is made to Arc Warden. I thought this was kind of funny, allowing one of his facets allowing the magnetic field to suck in runes and collect them. I think that's hilarious. It also has like a very wacky range. Slurp. I think like the cast range is 3,000 on it. Yeah, it is 3,000. So if I like, let's see, if I go to about here, does that suck up the river and the bounty runes here? Oh yeah, it did. Dazzle has a new ultimate allowing him to become ethereal, kind of. This is pretty much Muerta's Aghanims, but specifically on Dazzle, which I think is kind of interesting, especially with like some of the general stat buffs that you get from it. Also, I'm kind of happy that Muerta's Ag Scepter got changed a bit to where it's that's actually a lot more interesting than the weird Ag's ultimates that it was trying to do, where it was just you stun an ally or an enemy, giving them immense resistance, but they can still cast spells. But it ended up like causing a lot of problems too, because it like caused a lot of things to break. Like I only saw the old Muerta Ags as a thing that could just be busted, as in like a coding problem busted. So I'm glad that they kind of changed it only to like repurpose it for Dazzle at least. There's a lot of other changes I could talk about. I just don't have time, and I don't want this to be a focus on changes to the game. So I think that might actually end off this update video. That's more of just me talking about my feelings on Dota right now video. That's also talking about what I'm doing in my other time video. Not sure what this actually is, but it's an update video regardless. I probably won't be making Dota content on this channel anymore, or even using this channel for much else anyway, which, unfortunate, I guess. There's still, like, good stuff here and there, I think, but I don't know. I just can't dedicate any more time to this. Maybe for, like, bug reporting reasons I post stuff here, but that's about it. Or, if only, somehow, some way, they change Phoenix to be a lot cooler and a lot better and actually, like, fix some of the problems, then I might come back. Because otherwise I don't feel like playing that much Dota. But yeah, just know I'm doing stuff in general, just not as much as I used to. Actually, no, just as much as I used to, just kind of focused somewhere else mainly. Probably not going to be making Dota stuff, but whatever. Hope you enjoyed this update video just a little bit, and I hope that kind of clears up some things, especially in the future. I have waited way too many months to do an update video, so it's kind of my bad, whatever. Check out my other YouTube channel if you want to kind of see what I've been up to. And Well, other than that, hope you all have a good night. Bye, Goodbye. See you probably over in my other channel, because there's nowhere else I'll be. Whoa.